Consider this a midnight warning. I know. Listen, ladies, we always give men a bad rap. You know, most of the time, the women are talking about how the men did them wrong. But I want to speak to the guys out there who have really nice hearts, and you're just not getting too far. There's a popular song, and it was called Man Eater. And the song said, "Watch out, boy, she'll chew you up. Oh, here she comes. She's a man eater." Now, let's talk about the man eater. She can be extremely attractive. She can be polite. But her energy is going to be off. It's going to be off. Because her motives are not pure. She's all about getting what she can get. And when she's done, she's done. And she may try to trap you and, get you to feeling bad and bad mouthing you and talking to you like you're not a man. You got to check that. Pay attention to her family. How's her mom? Is she looking for you to be a rescuer? Or is she a responsible woman on a mission? Does she think she can have a WAP? And for those of you who know Cardi B, y'all know what I'm talking about. Does she really think a WAP is going to keep you? Now, ladies, let me tell you something. You can't help who you're attracted to, but you do get to decide who you're going to entertain. And that thing works both ways. It works both ways. Be upfront. But firstly, ladies, take care of your business. There's nothing sexy about a woman who wants to be a victim. There's nothing sexy about a woman who'll tell a man, you punked out. My mama was right about you. Baby, send her back home to her mama. Okay? You don't want a woman who doesn't support your goals. I just saw something, I think it was on YouTube. And this is a true story. So there's a young man, and he's an artist. And he was with this young woman. And, he was a writer. He's a writer. And so they were sitting there having a conversation, and he said, I don't think this is going to work out. And she said, why? And he says, I'm a writer, and you haven't read any of my books. In other words, she's there for her own agenda. You can't just have somebody in your space because they're pretty PYT, or, look at them hips and this Brazilian booties that people got out there, Brazilian butts, all that. Don't fall for the okie doke. Your mama told you about these women. They're silly women. It's silly to think that you can get a boob job, what they say, get the fat shot up in your booty from your stomach. And I know you want to look good, but listen, when the woman is more concerned about the outward versus the inward, you got a problem. See, men, okay, listen to this. As we get older, being a medical social worker and working in social work as well, you may need somebody to change your diaper. Now, I'm not talking, listen, y'all, we don't think about this stuff. We don't think about when you old and gray. Come through, music. I love you when you old and gray. You need to know if she gonna love you enough that if you get sick, she's not gonna leave you in that bed. Now, let me tell y'all something. My son's father and I have been divorced forever. And we didn't have the best relationship. And it's part of life. But because he's my son's father, if he got sick and he needed me, I'm going to help him. Why? That's in my nature. Okay? That's in my nature. A man eater, baby, will just suck you dry. And then she may even become demanding and controlling. Why you going over your mama's house? You always at your mama's house. You with your cousin. You sleeping with your cousin. She'll accuse you of everything. You can't do anything. You can't even go out with your boys anymore. I don't even understand that. You're a grown man. How you going to tell me you can't go out with your boys? Blow up your phone. One young woman, just ghetto. She had a baby with this guy, and he was a football coach. He was coaching the little leagues, and he was busy. The lady went down to the football field and walked up to him in front of these other men and gave him the baby and said some crazy stuff. And his friends were like, dude, you gonna let her talk to you like that? Baby, ain't nobody's coochie that good. Here, don't be no fool. Look at the traits of the women or the woman that you respect the most. Now, if you all about, you shallow, and that's all you want is a trophy wife or somebody, and somebody to tell you how cute you are because you know you going through your midlife crisis, and so you really want somebody that's gonna play with you and make you feel good until you die. She's a man eater. Ask questions like, how many relationships have you been in? What did you learn from those relationships? How many babies do you have? How many fathers do you have? And who's taking care of you? Now listen, they can be in the church. I just hate to tell y'all this, but they can be in the church. And I knew someone, and there was this young man who was minister of music, and he was just so nice. And so this young woman came out of nowhere, pretty, and she married him. Beautiful wedding. I was there. That girl took him through so much hell. He about lost his mind. She already had multiple children, but she knew how to put it on thick. She knew how to put it on thick. Poor child. When I saw the guy, he looked so broke down. Because this was a guy who was really a good guy. But she was a man eater. So years passed, and I was at the library. Let me tell you something. I was at the library because I met a guy that she knew, and I didn't know she really knew him. And so I decided, I was at the guy's house, and I was going to stay the night because I really liked him. But when I went to sleep, I had a dream. And in the dream, multiple women were showing up at his door. I'm telling y'all, this is true. And it startled me. So the next morning I said, hey, are you really like an active person? You have a lot of people in your life, a lot of women. He was like, yeah, that's what I used to do. I was like, oh my God. Well, in the dream, there was this one woman who came over and she said, I don't care who he's with. He's always going to be my man. I was like, okay, this is some crazy stuff. Even if he has a wife, he's still going to be my man. I can't make this stuff up. So that day when we're in the real story. That day when I was in the library, I was talking to the young woman. And she said, oh, yes, he's always going to be my man. I'm thinking, Lord, this is the person I was dreaming about. This is the person who was with that other guy from the church and just tore him up. If a woman destroys everything in her path, don't you go try to change her. Now, some relationships don't work out. Can we just be honest? Some of them don't work out. But if you start meeting men, because it's a small world, and they start saying, girl, listen, she took him to the ringer. And then men, I know, oh man, somebody's trash is somebody's treasure. Baby, you need to check your trash, okay? You need to check your trash. You don't let a man eater talk crazy to your mama. See, a man eater, she doesn't have any respect. No self-respect. It's all about, I'm going to get what I want. And if you're in my way, I'm going to run over you. You call her, she's never available. But you're ready. She'll put you on a guilt trip. Baby, I thought you said you loved me. I mean, come on now. It's, hey, what do you want me to do? She has no goals whatsoever. She's a man eater. That's her goal. Her goal is to get a man that can take care of her, and then she is going to suck him dry. Hmm. Hmm. Y'all know I was married twice. I had two husbands that was my husband. And so in the second situation, I was disobedient and desperate, whatever. So I got married and I was wrong and I got my tail whipped by God. And then I ended up having a fight. But anyway, here was one of the situations. The guy was coming and, he was saying, I want to get back with you. He's showing up at church with roses and all this other stuff. And they like, praise the Lord, baby. I was like, I gave him away. Well, one day I went back to him. And I said, God, am I doing the right thing? And the next morning, I was checking email, and he forgot to log out of his email. And there was a picture of a woman who had been in our house and apparently in our bed based upon the email. And then I kept looking through his email, and there were multiple women. He had went on and, went on these rendezvous. And I never questioned it because his job required that he travel. I said, God, you always looking out for me. And I thought maybe I could just work through it, y'all. I done invested and blah, blah. Sometimes you just gotta cut your losses and move on. So I thought I could work through it. And then I started, looking at his phone when he went in the bathroom. Somebody said, when you coming to take a bath? And I responded, what time? Somebody else called, her picture popped up on his phone like this. Ladies, don't believe the hype. If a man is dogging out a woman and just telling you everything she didn't do, no. Don't believe that. Don't believe that. But my point with this story is, I told him one day when he was still playing games, I said, you know what? Anybody will screw you, but not everybody's going to make you a wife. So you need to remember that. When you out here chasing tail, you think they chicken heads. And they're vulnerable. So you're going to play on their weaknesses. You're going to tell them all these lies about a real woman that's in your life, but you don't want to man up and be respectful. So then you're going to go on out there and you're going to get you one of these man eaters. And some of them, y'all seen them shows where the women kill the men? You got to let people check her out. Let your sisters check her out. Women, we know women. If your sister, your aunt, or your grandmother says, she ain't it. One young man got a woman, he got a man eater and married her. Against his mother's recommendation and his father. And what the girl did, she married him, had them babies, and said she wasn't going back to work, and told him, I'm not taking the kids over there to see your mama. Just creating havoc. Just a hell raiser. A man eater. Kind of like y'all remember Samson, and he had hair. His strength was in his hair. It was in his hair, and he had his parents gave him back to God. And the thing is his strength was in his hair. And he started messing with one of the foreign women because she was beautiful. She was appealing to the eye, the lust of his flesh. But she was on the enemy side. And so he would lay down with her and she would say, oh, Samson, do you love me? Yes, I love you. Well, would you tell me where your strength lies? He said, well, if you tie up my arms and you tie up my legs, I'll lose my power, right? She tied up his arms and tied up his legs. And he said, the Philistines are here. So she was setting him up. She set him up. And so he broke free, right? And she rode him until he gave in. And finally he said, no razor is supposed to touch my hair. She cut his hair while he was sleeping. She said, Samson, the Philistines are here. She was a man eater. She was a killer. They took Samson, the man who God had gifted with so much power. They put his eyes out. Do you hear me? And turned him into a slave. This beautiful man. Thankfully, his hair started growing back, right? But his eyes were gone. And he said, God, please don't let me go out like this. So God sent him somebody to help him. And he got between the pillars and destroyed the whole city. But here's the thing. She was a foreign woman. She's a man eater. And let me say this to you men. Let me tell y'all something. Because, sometimes I have a little pet peeve about some things. If your mama is a black woman and she raised your tail, don't you ever tell me that you can't find a good black woman. I don't do black women. They a trip. And then you leave us like that. You better get yourself together. I'm going to get with this woman because they don't talk back to me. Dude, let me tell you something. Somebody could poison your food. You need to check yourself. What are you really after? How do you screen these women? How does she treat your kids? She shouldn't be competing with your daughter. Oh, you want to see your daughter again? Oh, I thought she was going to be with her mama. Man eater. She's not thoughtful. It's your birthday. Look, it's your birthday. She don't give you nothing. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. She doesn't remember anything that's important to you. Anything. And you will never, ever, ever satisfy her. Because she's a man eater. Beware of the man eaters. They're beautiful. They're seductive. They'll play on your weakness and they'll cut your hair. They'll find your strength and they'll stick it to you. The same way women, we don't want somebody taking us away from our friends. You don't have a right to tell a grown man that he can't go out with his friends. First of all, you're not his mother. You are his woman. He is not your son. He is a man. Talk to him like he's a man. Respect him like he's a man. But men, carry yourself in such a way that she can respect you. Now, a lot of people say, the Bible said, love your husband. Actually, it said, respect your husband. Men, love your wives. Wives, respect your husband. But, sir, you got to do something worth respecting. Okay? Here's another thing. I want you to be careful. It breaks my heart when I see young women who get with men who, and they give them all these children. And then all of a sudden, you gonna go find somebody else. Really? You left her with 7 children. And now you gonna go find somebody else because, you think she's gonna do you better than the woman who had your 7 children. Are you drinking? Are you drinking? Watch out for these man eaters. They'll chew you up. If she's disturbing your peace and your pockets, you got to let her go. I don't care what she does. She can make you curl your toes, baby. Okay? But it's not about your toes. It's about your soul. Now, I felt compelled to do this video today. I was coming home from dancing. I was enjoying myself. And, of course, I saw women, dressed in their own garbs. And, no judgment. You just got to say, what's her intention? What's her motive? Then she leave you for another man, and now you bitter. You're not better. And then God sends a woman who really wants to love you, and you got all these hang-ups because you thought you could change a man eater. No. No. And no. Yes, she younger than your woman that you had, right? Okay, go on down there. Go on down there. Go on down there. She's just waiting for you to die. Go to the hospital. She ain't coming. You call her, baby, I'm out of gas. Call your cousin. She don't want to make no sacrifices for you whatsoever. No support, no sacrifices. She got a sad story, and she's going to suck you dry and break you down like you a little boy. Ask God to give you wisdom and Pray instead of focusing on this punani. In closing, Jamie Foxx was dating this young woman. And there was a red carpet event. And she was so excited. And she went and got all this stuff. I mean, she's ready because she with Jamie Foxx, okay? She with Jamie Foxx, the Jamie Foxx. Well, Jamie got sick the day of the event. He said to her, hey, baby, I'm not feeling well. And I just want to stay home because I'm really not feeling well. What? What you mean you're not feeling well? I got this dress. I mean, can I still go? Man-eater. He cut her loose. She was so silly. Girl, do you know how many more red carpet events there are? But she was so shallow. Poor Jamie. But he had enough sense to say, this woman is willing to go to the red carpet without me. And I'm sick as a dog. She's a man-eater. This is part 1. I may do a part 2 because I just like to be fair when I talk about topics. You know, I'm gonna tell you like it is. Men, I'm gonna tell you like it is. But ladies, we got to be responsible. We got to listen. If you don't want him, there's somebody else that does. So leave him alone. You know, stop creating hell in a new relationship. I thought you said you was going to love me. You said you was never going to leave me. You was lying to me. And he baby. No, don't baby me. Don't baby. And just craziness. Can't hold an intelligent conversation. Come on. You smarter than that, man. Listen. You smarter than that. Ask the women in your circle, those that you respect and you trust. Hey, I want you to meet this young lady. I want you to check her out. And don't be hard-headed like I was, because that's what I did. And my friend said, oh, he ain't it. And I paid for it. Women can see other women. Don't let nobody monopolize your time, take you away from your children, create havoc in your family. Create hell and then expect you to go fix it. You got to set the boundaries. But also, men, carry yourself in such a way that you're trustworthy. If you out there a hoeing, being Captain Save-A-Hoe and all this other stuff, listen, it don't apply to you. But I'm talking about a hardworking man who really wants to be loved and he wants to be respected and he's willing to work on his stuff. Don't you get caught up. Don't you get caught up. You have been warned. Now let me take my happy hips in here and go take my shower. Because, honey, I went dancing today. You wouldn't have known that I had broke my leg a year ago. And listen, I was serving it up. And I didn't take anybody home. I didn't take anybody home. Because I'm a lady. But I had a wonderful time. Loving on me. That's the type of woman you want. You want a woman who knows how to love on herself. She knows what love is. Therefore, she can love you. That's all I got to say about it. Oh, by the way, I'm Dolores Jones, the comeback coach. And you're here on my YouTube channel, Dolores Jones TV, as well as Facebook and Instagram. I just wanted to have a heart-to-heart with y'all real quick. Watch out for them man-eaters, children. Please, please watch out for them. Please. Please. You deserve better than that. Get yourself together. Man-eater, she'll just remind you of your past. That's why you just a thug. You used to be a thug. I don't care. You always going to be a thug. She's just throwing your past in your face. She don't care. You tell her things that are precious. She waits for the right time to stick it to you. Oh, I guess that's why your mama said, you know, just crazy. Listen to her conversation. Now listen, y'all saw that movie, The Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Don't you play with these women. If you have never seen that movie, you need to watch that movie. Don't go out here telling somebody you love them. Oh, I love you. She's like, what? No, actually, I love how you do that. I love how you look. And see, we jump into, I love you. And I love, right? But when you hear somebody say, I love you, it's like, I love being around you. But if she don't know you, how can she love you? And then, men, what is important to you? And one of my friends, I was telling him that this guy who's quite wealthy was interested in me. And I told the guy, listen, apparently I ain't for you because you make time for what's important to you. So I was telling a friend of mine, and he said, he's a millionaire, Dolores. I mean, what can you give him? I said, excuse me? I mean, like, well, what are he gonna do with you? Now, of course, I was taken back by this. I said, young man, listen. I got favor with God. I love and I will cover him. And I can speak and represent myself as a queen. And I have discernment. You can't buy that. Ladies, know who you are. Men, if there's a certain type of woman that you want, a quality woman, then talk to her. And start as a friend. Start having conversations. Don't be ready to jump into bed, because sex can make you stupid. It just make you stupid. I've been there. Just make you stupid. You just forget. Be like, I'm not even going to work anymore. Then the old people used to call it sprung. She got your nose wide open. Your nose is wide open. She's just leading you around like a puppy dog. Let her go. Let her go. But she's the prettiest woman I've ever seen. Okay, but she's also killing you. So what you gonna do about that? Stop making excuses for her behavior. If she said, I just want a man that's just gonna stick with me. Listen, you gotta let her take some responsibility. She can't just talk to you crazy. She can't just create bills and then you're supposed to go, and solve the problem. One man I know, he's a judge. He married this woman and he thought she really was going to be ambitious. Baby, as soon as she said, I do, he said, what's up? She said, I ain't working. He said, wait. She said, you a judge. And he said, but can we talk about this? There ain't nothing to talk about. I ain't going to work. She was an opportunist. No goals. Just riding them poles. No goals. Just riding them poles. You want a woman who is, she's intriguing. You want to know more about her. Watch how she treats her children. Watch how she treats her children. Watch how she talks to her. Child, I have been around some women, younger women, they cuss these kids out. Kid just trying to play. 4 years old. This one say, get your blankety blank over here, ninja, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to whip your such and such. I said, oh my God. Why would you even get with her? She don't even love the children she bought in the world. Now, what you think she going to do to you? And here's another thing. And I'm out for real. If you get with a woman and she abandons her children to be with you, you got a problem. No mother who is a mother will leave their kids behind a man. It just made me think of this other Bible story, and I gotta go. There were these two women, and they had a baby. Each of them had a baby. One of the babies died. And so the woman whose baby died, while the other woman was asleep, she switched the babies. And then the mother, whose child was really alive, said, something's wrong. And the lady said, that's my baby. No, that's my baby. That's my baby. So they went to the judge. And he said, okay, I'm going to figure this out. We're going to see who the real mother is. So they couldn't come to an agreement. So the judge said, we're going to cut the baby in half. And the real mother said, don't do that. Don't, no. The other one said, cut the baby in half. The judge said, give the woman her baby. The one who didn't want to cut the baby in half. See, you got to look at stuff like that. Let her go get her own counseling. You used to be strong and handsome, and now you got a pot. You're just sitting around just looking like you ain't got no friends. You ain't got no friends. You a king, man. You a king. Stop playing around with this these man eaters. You know, you better off being by yourself than having somebody sucking you dry and messing up your family. And I've just seen it. It's just been horrible. And then they've left these men broken. So then when somebody with substance and sincerity meets them, now the man can't open up. And, you know, and the woman who's about her business, she's not getting ready to babysit you. She ain't changing no diapers. So you got to decide, you know, you going to deal with that. You going to cut your losses and say, hey, I missed it on this one. And don't make the new person pay for what the other woman did to you. I've met some really broken men. And it's unfortunate. I was like, yo, I don't be able to do it. No, I don't have time to invest in that. I'm not getting ready to do that. You know, you got to love yourself enough, man, to go get you some therapy. Love yourself enough to reclaim your life. Love yourself enough to not be so hard on yourself. We don't all get it perfect. Not all the time. And just say, hey, you know, I missed that one. You know, I missed that one. And sometimes you'll want to hold on to her because you don't want to look like a failure. Well, my father, you know, he wasn't there for us. And so I'm just going to take it. Because I want my kids to have two parents in the home. Kids coming home, y'all arguing. Kids need therapy because y'all in there cussing and arguing. They know both of y'all ain't happy. And, you know, you just have to say, listen, children, let me sit down and talk to you. It's called a relationship. And sometimes people have disagreements, and sometimes it's best that people go their own way. When I divorced my son's father, I was doing some play therapy with him because kids, now listen to this, kids can only process things in threes. So when you start trying to talk to them in a conversation like you talking to an adult, just forget it. When a child has gone through an experience like that, they feel a loss of control. And so you want to create an experience where they feel like they can control things. So there was this project. We went and got, Mark, we went and got some Play-Doh. And we were making roses. You got the three little shapes, and then you make them roses. So I'm sitting in the floor with my son. Now, his father and I have been divorced for a while by then. We're sitting in the floor. He looks at me. He says, Mom, why you divorced my daddy? He was back in control. He wasn't ready to hear it when I was ready. And I've had to apologize to my son. I said, you know what? God gave us a gift, and we just acted so silly. And we should have, we call ourselves loving the Lord. Your daddy's a minister. I'm a praise and worship leader. Now listen here. I don't deal with no foolishness. You put your hands on me, I'll have to cut you in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Okay? I ain't talking about that part. But I'm saying that we say we love God, but we can't be cordial enough to show them that maybe it doesn't work out, but you can still be respectful. Ricky has his associate's degree, and he's bilingual. He's working on his bachelor's degree, and he's doing some stuff. And so when he graduated, he said, Mom, you know what I want? You know what I really want for graduation? He didn't want a car. He didn't want any money. He said, I want to be able to go to dinner with you and my dad. That's all he wanted. That's all he wanted. He wanted to sit at a table with both of his parents and know that they are there for him. Now, y'all know I was game for it. That's just how I'm wired. Mark said that the doors of the church are open, and you can go ahead and send your offering to my Cash App, $ my comeback code. You go ahead on and do that. You can also go to PayPal, okay? Okay, and the church said amen. And the church said amen again. May the Lord watch between me and thee, while we are absent one from another. This we ask, Lord, in your name. Amen. I'll see y'all later. Mwah. Bye-bye.